ITV News.
Hello, I'm Sharon Thomas. The government is considering a change in the law to allow agency workers to cover for staff who go on strike. With action planned across the rail network this month, Transport Secretary Grant Shapps says he wants to stop the public from being held to ransom, and that new legislation could be introduced swiftly to minimise disruption. I'm joined now by our political correspondent David Wood. David, this is all going to come too late for the strikes this month, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. Although this legislation is something the government has promised to do in previous election manifestos, but it certainly this morning represents a ramping up of the rhetoric with the unions ahead of those 3 planned days of strike action over pay and threats of redundancy later on this month. Ministers say that there is still time to resolve the dispute, to cancel the strikes, but that they must ensure every lever is pulled to ensure the public is protected if there is any strike action.
No, and I think it is right that people have the ability to have their voices aired and to make a point. But we've got to also, as a government, make sure we are supporting normal people in their everyday lives in a situation where we want to see people use the railway more, not less.
Now, the R&T union, whose members are striking, says that ministers need to stop smearing the union and that they also need to allow rail companies themselves to negotiate with union members to try and reach a settlement here. But clearly, as we face a summer of potential strikes and major disruption, what we're seeing is a ramping up of tensions between unions and the government. I think that makes any sort of resolution more unlikely at the moment. OK,
David, thank you very much. It's being reported that the shelling of the Ukrainian city of Severodonetsk has caused a powerful fire at a chemical plant after tons of oil leaked out. Russia is continuing its assault on the city, but Ukrainian soldiers are holding their positions on the fringes. It's been the focus of the Russian offensive over the last few weeks. Tens of thousands of protesters have taken to the streets across America, demanding stricter gun laws after 2 mass shootings. 19 children and 2 adults were killed at a school in Texas last month, and a few days earlier, 10 people were shot in Buffalo, New York. President Joe Biden is backing the protests. And the Queen today becomes the 2nd longest reigning monarch in history. She's now been on the throne for 70 years and 127 days, surpassing the former King of Thailand. Only Louis XIV, King of France for 72 years during the 17th and 18th centuries, remains ahead of her. And that is all from me this lunchtime. Duncan Golestani will be here with the evening news just after 6 o'clock. Until then, enjoy your afternoon. Goodbye.